Hello, welcome to my podcast called Life and Marketing, or more precisely, Life X Marketing. Most of you may already know that the X is a modern way of describing or saying that two things or two entities are collaborating or cooperating on a project or something. So, medyo modern siya. It's a marketing or business term mostly, which is why this podcast is entitled the way it is, because there are so many aspects in life that involve marketing. Pero hindi natin papansin yon. Sa buhay kasi natin, hindi yun broadcasted, kumaga. But many people don't realize that. And since I'm a marketing veteran, 25 years, I just want to share stuff about life and realize that marketing is such a big part of life. And so that's why we called it Life and Marketing, Life X Marketing. So, welcome to the podcast. Now, yung title ng episode na to, this is obviously an audio podcast. Thank you for listening, by the way. Is the best kind of employee. So, siguro maganda pag-usapan natin, what is it that makes up a great or the best kind of employee? Maganda usapan yan. Because most of us who are employees will want to know, ano ba, do I have what it takes? And then the others naman who are the bosses, the seniors naman who have employees under them, would also want to know, okay ka ba? Are you fit for the job? That's usually the question. So, over the years of working in corporations, I have found out that there are about three definitive ways to know exactly if a worker or an employee is a really great kind of employee for the company. And I'm talking generically, yung for any industry, any company, these three will apply. Okay, so the first one is, of course, pinaka-obvious, alam niya yung trabaho. He is qualified for the job. He knows the job. Meron siyang knowledge, meron siyang experience siguro. Kung fresh grad, of course, walang experience yun. But may knowledge, may experience, may training, may certification of some sort, anything that tells the employer, the company, na this person knows what to do or has a good idea what to do in that job. So that's the very first one. Very basic and very common sense, and everybody knows that. You have to have some form of training or knowledge about the job before you are accepted, of course, or before you even apply. At least alam mo na meron kang kaalaman dun sa trabaho, right? Otherwise, suntok sa buwan yan pag nag-apply ka sa trabaho na obviously sa credentials mo, sa resume mo, says nothing about your knowledge about it or experience. So, medyo mahirap yun. So, knowledge is the first thing. The person knows the job. Now, the second and the third one, that gets tricky. The second one that I found out to be a valuable trait of a great employee is that employee cares for the job. Now, when I say cares, I'm not talking about yung kaplastikan na mahal yung trabaho, o verbal lang na laging sinasabi na I love my job or something like that. No. I'm talking about somebody who genuinely nakikita mo, without him or her saying it, nakikita mo that person really has an innate care or love even or concern for the outcome of the job, the output, the performance of the job, how it goes on a day-to-day basis, yung surroundings niya, the other people in the department, the other departments, how it affects the image of the department or herself or himself. May concern. Like, it's not on the job description. It's not in the contract. And yet, there is that concern. Now, this is something that you could probably determine specifically. Like, nakikita mo, nabibilang mo. Or you can actually articulate it. You can describe it. Like, that person says, hello to everyone, kinakamusta niya lagi lahat ng tao, chine-check niya yung documents, dino-double check niya yung documents. After doing the job, asks the superior, did I do a good job? Is this what was expected? Stuff like that. You can name specific behaviors that say that that person cares for the job. Okay? And hindi siya yung sip-sip. Talagang nahihiya siya pag sumasablay. Nahihiya pag nagkukulang. Or may konting shame pag nag-fail siya. Or in any way. In any kind of way na ganun. That person actually shows clearly sa mukha niya, sa behavior niya, na nahihiya siya. That he didn't do a good job, or he didn't do a great job, or hindi pumasa sa expectation of people around him or her, or the seniors above. Hindi pumasa dun sa expectation. So that innate care can be seen through certain behavior patterns, and nakikita natin lahat yan. So that's something that you can use. So the first one is knows the job, of course. Alam niya yung ins and outs. The second one is care, yung concern for the little things about the job, about the company, about the people. Care. Now there's a third one. Yung pangatlo is, this is the one that kind of separates the boys from the men, the girls from the women, so to speak. The third one is innovates the job, meaning, I guess it also stems from care, but it's a whole different level. Kasi when you care, gusto mong alagaan yung pang-araw-araw, yung pupuntahan, yung tao beside you, around you, above you, below you, lahat. Inaalagaan mo, and you make sure na maganda, na papunta sa objective lahat. Pero itong innovates kasi, when I say innovate, like the person thinks of new ways to make the processes easier, faster, more efficient, cost efficient, mas maganda yung resulta, mas bang for the buck, something new, something never seen before by the company, something never done before by the department, something that his or her position has never accomplished before. Nag-i-innovate. Nag-iisip ng mga bagong paraan, not just for objectives or meeting objectives, but even the methodology, ini-improve. Parang nag-i-improve siya. Parang meron siyang, Midas touch. Like, everything turns to gold pag hinawakan niya. That kind of thinking. Nag-i-innovate siya. Anything and everything that person does or tries to do or gets involved with, something new comes out. Something better comes out. Okay? It doesn't have to be, again, the objective or the final output. It can be the nitty-gritty details every day. Little things that you see na nag-i-improve. Now, putting all that together, the employee knows the job. The employee has a sincere concern for the job. And the employee innovates regularly. Then you're almost sure that is a great employee. All right. All the other stuff, if you chat GPT or Google, what is a great employee? Most, if not all, will fall under these three. Okay, read it. I'm sure you'll find it exactly how I'm saying it. All of these traits that you will Google will fall under these three. Knows the job, cares for the job, and innovates the job. Okay. Case in point, in my experience, I have had a person under me, an employee under me, sucks. Okay, talagang on paper magaling, pero in action, pag nandun na sa loob and we're working together every day, wala talagang alam. Tapos, yung hindi nag-innovate, kung ano lang sinabi ko, yun lang gagawin. And then, parang walang care. It's like, there's stuff to do, and hindi niya ginagawa yung more than he can. Kung ano lang yung kaya niya gawin, yung gusto niya gawin, yun lang gagawin niya. And you don't see any extra effort or making it better, nothing. Parang, he's basically just working as per what I say. Okay, so nakakapagod yun. From a boss's point of view, nakakapagod leading people and they're not doing anything more than what I tell them to do. It's very, very frustrating, very, very tiring from a head's point of view to work with those kinds of people. Let me tell you something. If you're somebody under and you don't have anybody under you, as a boss, as somebody who leads, the one thing that leaders expect is that you are hired to add something to the table. Magdagdag ka kung ano meron na on the table, kung ano na yung standard, do something better. Make it better. Add to it. Okay? Improve it in any way that you can. If you're not doing that, you're basically like cargo. Can't say it any other way. You're cargo ka lang. You're just there. You're just doing a little part, but all the potential that you can do, not happening. All right. So that's very tiring to work with and frustrating from a head's point of view. Now, from another side naman, I've also had people who, konting instruction lang, they come up to me and they give me all the signs that they are great employees. If they're not doing anything, they ask me, what else can I do? If they're doing something and they're not sure, they ask me, sir, tama ba itong ginagawa ko? They build their confidence through that. Then later on, di na sila nagtatanong kasi they asked me already once or twice. And then when sacrifices need to be made, they sacrifice. When efforts need to be doubled, they double the effort. And I don't have to ask. Sometimes I don't have to ask even once, and automatically that person understands. Out of common sense lang, na it's got to be done. All right? And I'm not talking about yung super exaggerated efforts. I'm just talking about the little things that you notice. All right? Parang sa magkaibigan, alam mo kaagad kung sincere yung friendship o hindi. Parang ganun sa worker, sa isang empleyado. All right, so I've had both. A really bad employee and a really great employee, and that's as solid as a description as I can give. Now, why is this important to know? Now, retention and application. That's why it's important to know these things. If you are applying, if you're hiring, then alam natin to. The true colors of new people in the company don't come out until the first 3 months, 6 months. So there's a waiting game. Maganda on paper, masarap kausap, seems impressive, but in reality, pagdating ng actual daily grind, it's different. Magkaiba. Magaling siya on paper, but not really in real life, in daily trabaho. And that's a deciding point. Like, okay, sorry pare, I gotta let you go because you're not exactly what you sold yourself to be. Ikaw naman as an employee, syempre excited ka. You need the job, you want the job, you apply. And then it doesn't really, how should I say it, inspire you, excite you, makes you feel alive. Ako personally, if you wake up 2 months into the job and you're not excited to go to work, you're not filled with ideas, filled with thoughts about how to make things better, ideas on accomplishing your objectives, meeting expectations, exceeding expectations. 1 or 2 months into the job, leave. Sayang lang oras mo. Okay, it works both ways. For the company hiring and the employee being hired, it works both ways. Don't waste your time. Because the more time you spend with somebody who is not into the job, walang care, talo ka na kagad. Maybe pasado ka lagi sa knowledge, pero walang care, walang innovation, don't waste your time. Let that person go, or ikaw, if you're the employee, just leave. Find another job. Life is too short to spend on something mediocre. Yung gitna lang. No, find something that'll make you better, make you sharp, make you improve. Okay? Ikaw mismo as an employee. Okay, so I hope that's clear. I hope that this topic sheds some light into that part of your life. I hope that I made sense in some points or all the points that I told you. This is all coming from personal experience, observations, study, research, and talking to some people. So the reason for sharing all of this to you guys, listening out there, is so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that people like me who are ahead of you have done already. Para hindi nyo ulitin. Okay? That's the whole point here. So hopefully you listen, hopefully you pick up something. If you just pick up one thing, that's already great. At least you learned something today that you can use and steer you away from trouble tomorrow or later in life. Okay? I hope that this helps. And please follow my podcast here on Spotify. New episodes every middle of the week. I usually target Tuesday, Wednesday to upload. Latest na siguro yung Thursday. Follow me, and hoping that you'll learn a lot of things as we move week on week with new episodes, new topics. Sometimes I have people that I talk with. Sometimes parang ganito lang, alone. Sometimes it's video, sometimes it's audio. So can't wait for the episode next week to share with you guys. See you next week.